peaceful about me.
Is this the leader of the Manor?
It is I, leader of NPC gang. How may I be at your service, Mr. Polam?
Hey, so I feel like there's a little bit of miscommunication going on here.
Enlighten me.
So this morning, a couple of your boys rolled up to me outside my house and put a couple of bullets in me. You know, luckily I'm okay, right? But you know, they were convinced that I was snitching on them, which is not the case, actually. I tried to explain it to them, but as I started talking, they just shot me and drove away. Didn't even give me time to speak. So,
what is the case that you're referring to?
So a couple days ago here, I brought Officer Shiesty and a couple of his bitches over to my house, which is right in front of the alleyway that you guys sell or used to sell, you know, weed out of. And I did in broad daylight. I wasn't hiding my face. I wasn't trying to be sneaky or anything like that because I wasn't snitching. I was asking the cops why they're, because, you know, I talk to Shiesty all the time because he's black, I'm black, we stick together. You know how it is. Your boys are all from the same country, right? You guys stick together, kind of, you know.
Respect.
And I was asking Shiesty why him and his officers are a bunch of fucking pussies. Now, Shiesty talks big shit. He talks shit to me. He thinks he's tough shit. But I'm like, okay, then why don't you do anything about this? And he pretty much told me he's just afraid and he can't do shit about it. That's all that was.
See, the thing is, it wasn't just that. I got told that after, so there was that whole thing. They saw that, whatever, regardless of if that was miscommunication. Apparently then after that, there was a meeting that a couple of my boys stumbled across where there was your people meeting with PD. One of mine ran over, kind of tried to eavesdrop, and then as soon as he pulled up, everyone scrambled. So when we go from a situation where we got that at the house that looked a little dodgy, combined it with that, plus, you know, reputation and past history.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you about that too if you want.
Together. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, so the hospital meeting, because I'm coming back to the city. I was away from the city for 3 months, right? And you know, things have changed. And when I come back, you know, I see that there's just there's gangs behind my house 8 hours a day selling weed. You guys and you know, Forum Drive has a whole bunch of people 8 hours a day. Polito has a whole bunch of people 8 hours a day, right? The city's only so big, you know. So when you take about 40 people at any given time selling weed, you know, the whole city suffers, you know. So I'm just thinking to myself, man, you know, do I really want to be in a city full of a whole bunch of, as I say, NPCs that just sit there all day and, you know, sell weed? So I was talking to the officers and I was just curious. I'm just like, so what's the deal? What are you guys going to do about it? You know, what can you do about it? And the meeting at the hospital was a different officer telling me his point of view. And it's not that I'm trying to get you guys in trouble or anything like that, because how my group does the same thing, you know. So I was just, I was just curious what the deal was. And lo and behold, the next tsunami, well, everything's a little bit different, right? So it was an issue in the first place.
So you want to eradicate that, but you don't
want
to get us in trouble.
I don't want to eradicate it. What happened? What I wanted happened that next tsunami, anyways.
So what did you want?
You know, people just to not be sitting in the alleyway 8 hours a day. You know, that's it.
I mean, even now, there's gonna be people in that alleyway selling drugs.
Yeah, but what I was told, it's not gonna be an 8 hour day sort of thing.
So it's not the drug selling that is concerning you. It's the length of time people are selling drugs.
So let me explain. Can I explain my thought processes here?
Okay.
So I come back to the city, right? Three months out, right? Y'all have been in the city for 3 months. Yeah, I don't know how long the weed selling has been going on, right? So essentially what you guys have done is you've amassed this massive fortune from weed. You know, sure, it's probably what, a couple million more? I don't know what you guys have done. So for me coming back to the city now, I'm very, 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 very far behind you guys in terms of, you know, power. Because that's what, let's say we get in a war, which I don't want, by the way. Wars are essentially battles of attrition. You know, who has the most, you know, manpower, who has the most guns, who has the most money, you know, etc. Right? So we could never beat you guys in a war. We never would. We'd never even try to go to war with you. Why would we? We're not fighters. Like, I don't carry a gun. You know, like when your boys are up to me, I'm not even gonna fight. You know, I'll put my hands up, take my shit. I don't care. You know, I'm not gonna fight back. You know, because this is not what we're doing. But the reason that, like, you know, I really care about being so, you know, far behind. So let's say if I want to buy a new car to race, that's what I'm really into. SK. I really like racing, right? You guys have all the cars you want, right? Because you have so much money.
They've done the earth.
And the only thing was, I was just trying to, you know, kind of see if there was a way to even the playing field, you know, more or less. Now, I wasn't going to do anything myself. I wasn't going to, like, snitch and be like, hey, you know, this is SK. He lives here. He does this, blah, blah, blah.
This makes absolutely zero sense.
They already knew that you guys were there, right? There was no new information given to the cops. I just wanted to know why. Because you guys doing that just puts me at this big thing. Because I don't want to sit and sell weed 8 hours a day. That's so fucking boring. Are you kidding me?
That just seems very contradictory, right? Because you say you don't want to get us in trouble, but you want to level the playing field. So I wanted to level the playing field. You wanted to slow down the rate we're moving, no? Which the way you're doing that is not
just you, everybody. So it's not. I guess you're right in that sense, but my whole point is it's not personal, right? But the thing is, it doesn't matter anyways.
When it comes down to cops, like I'll be very, very transparent with you, right? I could probably count on one hand the amount of people in the city that still give a fuck about like working with cops and giving information. You know, years and years ago, everyone was super anti it. These days, there's not a lot of people that give a shit. We're probably one of the only groups left that actually care about that stuff.
An idea.
I know, you know, nowadays everyone takes the stance of, well, you know, we didn't give no information, like that's new, or you know, everyone's doing it, so we're doing it. Those kind of things with us and the morals that we hold, that just isn't, you know, that just doesn't work for us. Like anyone that cooperates with cops, whether they're giving them new information, old information, or even just fucking going and meeting them and having a chill with them, like that type of shit with us. And
so
our morals
you don't think it's a good idea to ask the cops how they operate and why?
I mean, if that's what you want to do, you can do that. But us personally and how I operate this group, no, we don't communicate any more with the cops than a traffic stop and, you know, daily passes by.
I mean, because I did learn a lot from the cop and like, talking to them, because pretty much like, you know, if you get enough people and you're powerful enough like you guys are, they're just not going to bother you.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's why the alleyway operates how it does. But then when we got people, you got to remember, right? You live in the south side. South side is,
well, just one of our houses, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just the one you know, you was complaining us selling at, like. That's the south side. The south side is inherently dangerous, and cops tend to be precautious around there. Like,
but you know what's gonna be kind of funny too, though.
Area.
So whenever Vinewood, you know, you're able to buy in Vinewood. Whenever they start selling houses there, you know who's gonna be the first one to buy it? You. So the same thing will happen in Vinewood too.
Why would we be the first to buy in Vinewood?
Because you can afford it.
So the reason you're cooperating with the police is because of the financial gain of pushing. You know,
I'm not cooperating with them. I don't work for them. I'm not telling them anything. I was getting information from them.
So you've never once cooperated with cops and given them information.
Okay, first up, I'm gonna keep it completely transparent. I snitched on my own girlfriend and got her thrown in jail, buddy. I'm gonna keep it real. Okay.
I mean, bro, like different people have different morals, right? I'm not. My stance is not trying to change people. I know what you're on. I know what people who work with cops are on. But when you're living in the south side, when you're in, you know, a turf that is now, I mean, has been claimed by us for a while, and unfortunately that area operates on a different set of morals to you. So if you are out your house and, you know, you're trying to go about your daily business, that's not taken into account. What's taken into account is we got a house of people who willingly have previously worked with cops living in an area where we are constantly incriminating ourselves. So like that just can't run on our end.
Okay. So what are you trying to say?
I mean, I'm not really trying to say anything more than, like, you know, the way you operate, if your morals are what your morals are, if you're gonna work with cops and have conversations with them and be how you've been, then living in the south side is in general gonna prove difficult. We're not getting into fucking cars and, you know, going to war with you and dictating all this shit. But when we've got a group that's tried to direct cops towards us in our turf, if you are going in and out of that house and shit like that, it's the south side. It's going to be dangerous. There might be people that pull up and try to run your pockets. There might be people that ask what the fuck you're doing. Like, that's not going to change.
Well, the good news is I have no money and my pockets are empty. So you can run my pockets 1,000 times. It's not going to change me. You know, I don't work. I don't sell weed. I have no money. So I literally couldn't care less. You know, like, hell, I'll give you you come here right now, I'll give you everything I got, you know. Which is $33 bucks.
It's not even about what you got. We don't care for what you got. It's not that. It's Once upon a time, snitches wouldn't be able to live in the south side. You're in the belly of the beast, operating in a very backwards way to the majority of the people in that area. So you can't be surprised when the people who are most active in that area are holding you accountable for how you've been operating. And that's just the, you know, you live anywhere else in the city, you probably get away with it. You live in a spot right next to probably one of the only groups to give a fuck. That's just, you know, that's just unfortunate.
Well, it's good to know. I mean, I didn't know you guys. That was that big of a deal to you.
It's massive. Like, we've got rid of people. Everyone you see behind that house, for the most part, unaffiliated to us. They're just customers of us, and they do their thing. They make their money. That's why they're there. Hardly any of us spend much time sat in that alleyway pushing, right? We've got rid of people who sell and do nothing other. Those people back there do nothing other than make us money, right? We've got rid of people in that position purely because we found out that they've complied with cops, given information, shit like that. It has always been and will continue to be a massive deal to us when people work with cops. That's just how we operate.
Got it. See, I didn't know it was that was that big of a deal. I should have went over to what I think it's called Forum. The same thing happened there, right? Whatever the apartment place is. You know, it's the same thing. So my whole thing was with you is like, I wasn't trying to like get you like you personally, but you take it the way you want, you know. But next time, you know, I'll find a different group.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's like you said about it not being a personal thing how you do it. It's not a personal thing on our end. It's just if you work with cops, so you have the same energy for everyone, you know. It's not like a pick and choosing thing. That's how it always been. That's just the risks of you living in the south side, you know. If you're going to continue to operate like that and you know you're actively going in and out of that property, you can't be surprised if you're met with a certain energy.
No, I'm not. I mean, I'm not surprised at all. Like that's literally what you guys do. That's what you guys have been doing for years, and you know, you think it works for you, so that's fine. You know, I just think, you know, not having conversations, rolling up, shooting someone in 10 seconds is extremely boring. You know, I think that's just mindless. It's like, cool. I could do the same to you guys. Like I do have guns. I just choose not to do it. You know, because to me, it's just like,
I mean, that's fair
enough.
Hella
Sleeper. You know, like, who cares? You
yeah,
know?
I hear it. But arguably, you know, a 10-minute conversation that you have with a cop could ruin 6 months of our work and long-term building. So, like, I get that you're looking at that and you're going, right, well, I've just had 10 minutes of fuck all. Your meaningless conversation with a cop can ruin a lot of shit for us. So you got to remember, like, there's a lot at stake.
Well, I mean, it could, but like I was told again by my, you know, like Denzel and them, right? They told me that the cops couldn't do anything about it. So it's not like they were actually going to do, like if I was actually trying to get you guys, you think I would have just stood in my fucking roof and just did it? Like, hello? Like, that's crazy. I was literally just asking them, why don't they? I already knew they weren't going to do anything, but I see what you're saying, but it wasn't meant that way. Because if I was trying to be sneaky about it, dude, I got people in my, you know, we can listen to conversations like, you know, from a mile away. Like we have cameras put up everywhere, you know. So it's like if we were going to be sneaky, we could be sneaky. It wasn't meant to be that way.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those, man. Different morals for different people. Agree to disagree, you know. You're never gonna see it the same way.
It's no big deal.
Yeah.
So, just curious, going forward, you know, if I walk out of my house, you guys are gonna be there just, you know, shoot me again?
I mean, if you're in the right place, right time, and my people are around and they see, you know, your people going in and about their day and they're in the south side, then, you know, I can't give you a guarantee on how it's going to run. Like, that's the south side. Outside of the south side, you know, different story, but inside the south side...
Is Mosley's considered south side?
I would say it's an extension of the south side. You know, it's on that border.
What about the hospital?
Nah, the hospital ain't in no... I mean, the hospital's the hospital, right?
Yeah, I feel you. All right, well, I guess we just have to agree to disagree. We just have two different, you know, principles, you know. But I do appreciate you taking time to talk to me, and you know, hopefully, you know, things don't get too bloody, you know.
Yeah. All right, bro.
All right, appreciate you.
Easy.
Yep.
Not more really needs to be said to him. Thing is, I'm not the type of person that's gonna just bite. A lot of people on the phone when he talks like that, right? A lot of gangs would be like, "I'm gonna come smoke your shit. How dare you?" I'm not that guy. I ain't gonna fall for the fucking, you know. I ain't gonna fall for the bullshit.